100,000. That's the estimated number of gang members in Los Angeles alone. Imagine a city within a city, a hidden world operating in the shadows. These aren't just numbers, they represent real people, real lives intertwined in a complex web of loyalty and survival. A staggering figure hidden in plain sight. The graffiti on the walls, the secretive glances exchanged in alleyways, all tell a story of a parallel society. Across America, these clandestine organizations operate with their own laws, their own codes, their own brutal justice. They are a society within a society, often invisible to the untrained eye. This is the world few outsiders ever see, a world of loyalty and betrayal, of violence and despair. It's a world where trust is earned through acts of defiance, and where betrayal can mean a death sentence. But it's a world that touches us all. The ripple effects of gang activity extend far beyond the neighborhoods they inhabit, influencing everything from local economies to national policies. In this essay, we pull back the curtain on this hidden America. We delve into the lives of those who are part of this underground world and those who are fighting to change it. We'll explore the reasons behind the rise of gangs, the challenges they pose, and the efforts to combat them. Prepare to be surprised. The history is long and complex, filled with moments of both tragedy and hope. The truth about gangs in America is more complex and more disturbing than you might imagine. It's a story of systemic issues, of communities left behind, and of individuals making choices in desperate circumstances. This isn't just about sensational headlines or Hollywood stereotypes. It's about real people, real struggles, and real solutions. It's about understanding a complex social phenomenon that affects real lives in every corner of our nation. From the inner cities to the suburbs, no community is entirely immune. Join me as we journey into the heart of this hidden world. We'll meet those who live it, those who fight it, and those who are caught in between. You might be surprised by what you discover. The reality is more nuanced, more human, and more urgent than you might think. Gangs operate in a world shrouded in secrecy. Their activities are hidden from public view, their motives often misunderstood. To truly understand gangs, we need to look beyond the stereotypes and delve into the realities of their existence. Life inside a gang is often harsh and unforgiving. Loyalty is demanded, and betrayal is punished severely. Members are bound by strict codes of conduct, with initiation rituals often involving acts of violence. Drugs, weapons, and human trafficking are just a few of the illicit activities that fuel their operations. The lure of quick money and a sense of belonging can be powerful motivators, especially for young people growing up in poverty and despair. But this life comes at a heavy price. The threat of violence is constant, and many gang members meet tragic ends, caught in a cycle of crime and retribution. From movies to music, gangs have long been a fixture of popular culture. But how much of what we see on screen reflects the reality on the streets? The truth is, Hollywood often glamorizes gang life, portraying it as a world of fast cars, easy money, and street credibility. This romanticized view can be dangerous, particularly for impressionable youth. It ignores the brutal realities of gang violence, the constant fear, and the lack of opportunity that trap many young people in a life of crime. In reality, gang life is far removed from the Hollywood portrayal. It's a world of poverty, violence, and despair, where survival is the only goal. Understanding the difference between the myth and the reality is crucial for tackling the problem of gang violence and preventing young people from being drawn into this dangerous lifestyle. Gang activity isn't confined to inner-city neighborhoods. It's a problem that stretches from coast to coast, affecting rural communities and affluent suburbs alike. This isn't just a big city problem, it's an American problem. The internet and social media have played a role in this spread, allowing gangs to recruit new members and expand their operations across state lines. The ease of communication and anonymity provided by these platforms make it more difficult for law enforcement to track and disrupt their activities. The globalization of drug trafficking has also contributed to the growth and reach of gangs. They are often used as pawns in larger criminal enterprises, moving drugs and weapons across borders. This spread of gang influence poses a significant challenge to law enforcement and requires a coordinated, multifaceted approach to effectively combat. Section 5. The grip of turf gangs and territorial control. One of the defining characteristics of gangs is their obsession with territory. They mark their turf with graffiti, using it as a visible sign of their presence and control. This territoriality is about more than just claiming space. It's about power, resources, and reputation. Gangs often control the drug trade within their territory, using violence and intimidation to maintain their dominance. This control over illicit markets provides them with a steady stream of income, fueling their operations and attracting new recruits. This territorial control creates a climate of fear and violence in the communities they operate in. Residents are often caught in the crossfire, afraid to speak out against the gangs for fear of retaliation. Breaking the grip of gangs on these communities is a complex task, requiring a combination of law enforcement efforts, social programs, and community engagement. Section 6. Beyond the headlines. The socioeconomic roots of gangs. To effectively combat gangs, we need to understand the factors that contribute to their formation and persistence. While law enforcement plays a crucial role, it's important to recognize that gangs are often a symptom of deeper societal issues. Poverty, lack of educational opportunities, and limited access to social services create an environment where gangs can thrive. For many young people growing up in these communities, joining a gang can seem like the only viable option. Gangs offer a sense of belonging, purpose, and identity that many young people crave, especially when they feel invisible or forgotten by society. Addressing these underlying issues is crucial for breaking the cycle of gang violence and creating a more just and equitable society. Section 7. Fighting the Tide. Law enforcement and community initiatives. The fight against gangs requires a multi-pronged approach, combining the efforts of law enforcement, community organizations, and social services. Police departments across the country are implementing specialized units focused on gang intervention and suppression. These units use a variety of tactics, including intelligence gathering, targeted enforcement, and community outreach. They work to build relationships with residents, gather information about gang activity, and disrupt criminal operations. However, law enforcement alone cannot solve the problem. Community-based initiatives play a vital role in providing at-risk youth with alternatives to gang involvement. Mentorship programs, after-school activities, and job training programs can provide young people with a sense of hope and opportunity. By working together, law enforcement and community organizations can create a safer and more supportive environment for young people, steering them away from gangs and towards a brighter future. Section 8. The Human Cost. Stories of loss and redemption. Behind the statistics and the headlines are real people whose lives have been touched by gang violence. Families torn apart by loss, communities living in fear, and young people trapped in a cycle of crime and despair. Hearing their stories is a stark reminder of the human cost of this epidemic. We hear from mothers who have lost sons to gang violence, former gang members seeking redemption, and community activists working tirelessly to break the cycle. These stories are raw, emotional, and often heartbreaking. But they are also stories of resilience, hope, and the power of the human spirit to overcome even the most challenging circumstances. By sharing these stories, we hope to shed light on the very real human consequences of gang violence and inspire action to address this complex issue. Section 9. The Unexpected Truth. Gangs and the American Dream. It might seem paradoxical, but many gang members are driven by a warped version of the American dream. The desire for a better life, for success, for recognition. They are often individuals who feel marginalized and excluded from mainstream society, seeking a sense of belonging and purpose. They seek these things through illegitimate means, resorting to violence and crime in a desperate attempt to achieve their goals. The allure of quick money and power can be overwhelming, especially in environments where legitimate opportunities seem scarce or out of reach. This highlights a fundamental challenge in addressing the issue of gangs. It's a complex social problem that requires more than just law enforcement. It demands a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of gang involvement. It's not enough to simply suppress their activities. We need to provide viable alternatives to create environments where young people can thrive without resorting to crime. We need to show young people that there are legitimate paths to achieving their dreams. This involves mentorship, positive role models, and support systems that can guide them towards a brighter future. This requires investment in education, job training, and community development programs. By equipping young people with the skills and knowledge they need, we can open doors to opportunities that were previously closed to them. It requires creating opportunities for young people to succeed, to build self-confidence, and to see a future where they can achieve their goals through hard work and determination. To believe in themselves, and to envision a future free from violence and despair. This vision can only be realized through collective effort and sustained commitment from all sectors of society. Only then can we truly break the cycle of gang violence and offer hope to those who have lost their way. By fostering a sense of community and belonging, we can help guide them towards a path of peace and prosperity. Section 10. A Call to Action, Breaking the Cycle. The world of gangs is a complex and challenging one. It's a world that many of us may never fully understand, but one that affects us all in ways we might not realize. The impact of gang violence ripples through our communities, leaving scars that can last generations. It's easy to turn away from the violence, the despair, the seemingly insurmountable problems. We might think it's not our problem, that it's something that happens in other neighborhoods, to other people. But the truth is, the effects of gang violence and the conditions that foster it are closer to home than we might think. But we cannot afford to ignore this issue. The future of our communities, our nation, depends on our willingness to confront this challenge head-on. Education is key. By educating ourselves and our children, we can begin to dismantle the myths and misconceptions that surround gang culture. We need to understand the root causes of gang involvement, the factors that make young people vulnerable to recruitment. It's not just about bad choices. It's about lack of opportunities, lack of support, and sometimes lack of hope. The socioeconomic factors that drive young people into these dangerous lifestyles are complex and multifaceted. Poverty, unemployment, and broken homes are just a few of the many issues that need to be addressed. We need to support programs that provide at-risk youth with alternatives, with opportunities to escape the cycle of poverty and violence. These programs can offer mentorship, education, and a sense of belonging that many young people are desperately seeking. With opportunities to escape the cycle of poverty and violence, young people can see a future beyond the streets. Job training, educational support, and mentorship can make a world of difference. This isn't just a job for law enforcement or social workers, it's a collective responsibility. We all have a role to play in creating safer, more supportive communities. It's a call to action for all of us. Whether it's through volunteering, mentoring, or simply being a positive presence in our communities, we can all contribute to the solution. We can mentor a child, volunteer in our communities, and support organizations working to make a difference. Every small action adds up to a larger impact. Support organizations working to make a difference. These groups are often on the front lines, providing essential services and support to those who need it most. Every action, no matter how small, can contribute to creating a safer and more just society. Planting a tree, participating in a neighborhood watch, or simply being a good neighbor can all make a difference. We can choose to turn away from this difficult reality, to ignore the news and hope the problem goes away on its own, or we can choose to face it head-on, working together to build a brighter future for all. It's about taking a stand, being proactive, and believing that change is possible. Working together to build a brighter future for all. The choice is ours. Thank you for watching Informed Tourist. Now please subscribe and like this video. Now please check out the next video.